age. So from me watching it, once I started playing, the game actually came easy to me. So I had a park in the Bronx in my neighborhood, Sousa Park, where we had some of the best ball players coming out of there. Guys like Marion Cash, who played with Clemson University, with Eldon Campbell, Dale Davis, Steve DeBeer Shepherd, who played in the NBA, who had a gold medal. We had Phil Blunt. We had Fred Oglesby. We had Jeff Tillman, Jeff Petway, Andrew Hackman. We had so many, and they was older than me. So it was watching them, and I come from that era where it's two sides to the basketball court. So the younger, we called it, growing up, we called it the CBA. So I was on the CBA court for a minute, trying to get drafted to that NBA court to play with those older guys. So once I got drafted to that court and started playing, I mean, that's when confidence get in. But I come from, again, the areas when you get drafted, it come with rules. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, okay, shorty, you going to play, but listen, not all that dribbling. We shoot when you're only open. Play defense, and that's it, and just play your role, and that's where I come from right there. And that was early. And how old are you, by the way? Because I don't think we're the same age.
I'm 48. I'm 48.
Oh man, you look good. I got you though. You look good. Yeah. We older than Maine. We Maine OGs.
Okay. Okay. So, man, you from the other side of the water, you know what I'm saying, in New Jersey, man, but it's all the same, you know what I mean? So talk about your upbringing and who put the ball in your hands.
I was young, man. Coming from South Carolina, my mom lived in Linden, New Jersey. My dad was in Elizabeth. Okay. So I would come out on the weekends. My dad put up a basketball goal. So my cousin Cy and my cousin Alicia, they was one of the ones who helped me with my game. And then it was my cousin, God rest him, like my brother, Pop. My first goal was like a hanger in the living room. I was little, just throwing the ball around. And as I got older, I played all sports: baseball, football, basketball, martial arts, boxing a little bit. That was my background, So for me with basketball, it was a safe haven because it wasn't a lot of things going on that's going on now. Mm-hmm. Or if they was going on, it was kind of hindered a little bit. Yeah. It wasn't around the parks and mostly in the community and stuff. So I would go to the park. Right down the street from my house, it's called Fourth Ward, Dr. Martin Luther King Park. We call it the Mecca. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of ball players came through that park. So I would go there every day, just work on my game. And then when you finally realize that you might not be as good as you think you is, 6th grade, I got cut. 7th grade, I got cut. But I always played football. Mm-hmm. When I got cut from 6th and 7th grade, I went down south. And my cousins, it was grass. And when they got finished roughing me up and showing me some stuff, it was just dirt. So I had to work on my game, hone my skills. But a lot of guys who I played with around my way is like a guy named Corey Floyd, mm-hmm. Sean Worthy, God rest him, Larry McGee. I played against a lot of the older guys. Mm-hmm. A lot of the older guys, like Shane said, our thing was we had 2 places we would go. We had numerous places, but the 2 main places was Fourth Ward Park and school number 5, inside gym. And at school 5, I went from, it was a stage. I sit on the stage, and I never got picked. I would watch all the games. When they get done playing, I might have about 5 to 7 minutes to shoot around a little bit. Mm-hmm. I started working on my game. And my boy, Kevin Johnson, he picked me up. And from that day, he gave me my first non-government name, and that was Dennis Rodman. Because he said I would dive on the floor, I would get rebounds, I would run the floor. And I just started seeing my game enhancing. Every time I go to the gym, somebody picked me up. So now I can't wait to go to the park. So I go to the park. I'll never forget, I was coming from, it was 8th grade. I was coming from football practice, and I had cleats on. And I went and I dunked it. So I was like, hold up. If I could dunk with these cleats on, I can't wait till 6 o'clock to come down here. And I just been banging on it, just playing different ways. My cousin Tariq, he lived next door to me. He had a basketball goal. A lot of people be like, yo, like, how did you learn how to do all those weird moves, like the 360 layup, or be going past the basket and throw it behind my head? We would literally practice those moves. Like he had it, you walk up the walkway to step, and a basketball goal is here. we would run past it and try to throw it without saying the basket. So I worked on a lot of weird stuff.
Right.
But it was just really the OGs embracing me and teaching me the game and not just giving it to me. Not because I was tall, because I was strong. I had to work up to be, like they say, you got to beat the king on the court to be the king of the court. And that's what I did in Jersey, all throughout Jersey.
No doubt about it. So, I mean, you guys, I don't even know, like, when the last time you guys were ever called by, like, your name. You know what I'm saying? So, Shane Woney, known worldwide. I'm not going to say statewide, country, worldwide as Shane the Dribbling Machine. Tell the viewers how Shane the Dribbling Machine came to.
That's good. It's crazy, but I'm known Shane the Dribbling Machine worldwide, right? Mm-hmm. But in my neighborhood, I'm known as Ice.
Okay.
Right?
That's
they
my
know
nickname
me.
too. That's my nickname too.
Yeah, they know me. I'm known as Ice. So of course, playing in the I'm 15 years old, playing with the legendary coach, God bless her soul, Yvette, everybody know as Evie. And if you was somebody and or you was nice, you had to go through her in my era to play with her. So she coached guys like Rod Strickland, Tony Campbell, Walter Berry, Richie Adams, Future, Math, you name it, all the street ball legends. They played when she was from my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. She lived in Harlem, but again, she migrated and her family from my neighborhood. So of course I'm playing. She brought me down to Rucker Park. I'm playing. I'm trapped in a corner. I'm dribbling. Next, you know, I dribble. I'm dribbling. I throw between the guy's legs, and all I hear was, "Oh my God, did you see that? He's a machine. Matter of fact, he's a dribbling machine." And from that day on, from that day on. But again, my neighborhood was with me. So when they was like, "He's a dribbling machine," my neighborhood was like, "Dribbling machine, yo, that ain't dribbling machine, yo, that's Ice, that's Ice." So when I went home contemplating, like, mad, like, yo, dribbling machine, like, yo, next time I play, I gotta let them know, yo, fam, my name ain't dribbling machine, yo, my name is Ice. Mm-hmm. But I started walking around, and then I started hearing, yo, dribbling machine, yo, dribbling machine, the dribbling machine, and I would know her. And then it just stuck with me, right? I couldn't tell nobody who didn't know me Ice because they didn't know me like that. So mm-hmm. so I really had three names. I was Shane because that and one, if you notice on the map, all my jerseys on the back of my jerseys it said Shane. Right. I never ever had dribbling machine on nothing and one did, right? And that was out of respect for EBC, okay. For me personally. That was my personal reason. And me and Maine played with so many traveling teams, and we did so much stuff. So I was thinking more of this, copyright reasons, right? So I was thinking, I remember if you play with the Globetrotters, they give you a name. And the only reason why they give you a name is because now they own your name and they can sell the merch.
Right.
So when I was thinking, when I put Shane, I was saying, wow, that's kind of hot because the jerseys get hot, so they can't say I don't own that because that's my government name. Mm. So I kind of use that for the one stuff. So, you know, I would hear Shane, Jim Machine. If I hear Ice, I'm ignoring two things, but if I hear Ice, I'm turning around.
So Wiley, how you get the main event?
For me, it took me a couple of years to get the name Main Event. My first name, actually, let me go back. I was playing with the Gauchos, and I met a guy named Mousy. Mm-hmm. He was coming from the Gaucho gym, and he was like, "Yo, my name Mousy. You ever heard of Rucker Park?" And I was like, "I heard of it. You know, I'm young, yeah, you know." He was like, "Yo, you want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll play." So he came to Jersey because he was already picking up Roger Rhodes and some other player. I forget who the player was, but he would pick Roger Rhodes up first, come get me, then we go to New York. And my mom and my sister are very overprotective of me. So he had to come in the house. You know, my mom, my sister drilling him like, "Yo, who are you? You know, what do you do? What you gonna do with my baby?" Taking him to New York, talking about y'all going to play ball. And he was like, "Yo, I'm a ball, you know, I'm a coach. I have a lot of young guys on my team, and I want your son to play for me." So I go over to New York. My first name, maybe for the first year or two, they was calling me Wawa, the kid from across the water.
Okay.
And then maybe, let's say, another 2 years, a year and a half, they started calling me the coming attraction. And then I did something in the game. I forget which player it was, but they was taking the basketball out. I caught the alley. I intercepted at half court, dribbled in, did a 360, and they changed my name to the main event. And that's where it's been, it's been stuck ever since. I'm glad they didn't call me the main event. They just called me main event because I was able to patent that because, Lou Duva owned mainly the main event.
Right.
So I just, I guess from hard work, the way that I play, just my consistency and just want to put on the show. My whole thing was about keeping the fans in the crowd and just putting on the show because you never know who's watching. At that time, I had aspirations to go to the league. So I was just playing, man, playing hard, diving outside, doing whatever I had to do and hold up that name. Because once you get the name, like a dribbling machine, half man, half amazing, I'll be right back, prime objective. You got a main event. You got to live up to that. You know, so what I learned with New York City basketball, like Shane said, Mousy had me going everywhere. So by the time I play at Rucker, I might have played in 2 games, whether it was Peligre, Kingdom, Dykeman, and Rucker was the mainstays. But I noticed that once you get that name travels over to the other tournaments.
Right.
So I'm coming from Jersey, and we didn't play for, like, our street basketball wasn't based off of getting a name. Our game was based off of just going out there playing hard. So when I went to New York and started getting invited to that type style of basketball in New York City, it's a little different. That's the Mecca.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Think of the Knicks back in the day when it was like New York was crazy, So that to me was like my Rucker. So going out there, I wasn't playing to say I'm gonna be get a name. I wasn't playing to say they're gonna call me a legend one day. I want to be a legend. I was just going out there, giving my all, having respect and faith in Mousy, make sure nothing happened to me. Being young, we built a relationship, but I just was out there doing my thing. And also coming from Jersey, I had the whole state on my back.
Right. And it was different too because the era, right? The era was crazy. Like I was talking to Maine and I'll be watching the young kids talk about golden eras and which eras, this now, because it's 2 eras, right? So the era I come from, just imagine playing in a tournament, right? So you get fouled. So as you got 2 free throws, right? So as you shooting a free throw, a guy that you don't know out of nowhere, right? He's not on your team, but he yells out, bet 10,000 he missed. And then another guy will bet 10,000 he make it. And so it's a pressure situation because these guys are hustlers. So when I say that, I come from the era where that guy was outpost. You know what I'm saying? So the era we come from, it wasn't corporations coaching you. It wasn't rappers. It was hustlers. And what I know now, of course, we young again. Main understand what I'm saying is, we love the game so much. We didn't even think about what comes with the territory of playing with certain people.
Right.
Like we never thought. I think about it now. Like, yo, what if this dude, like, cause we know how the game go. What if he beats somebody? Or they say, yo, you know what? I'm going to catch them at the Rucker game, and I'm going to spread it up. But we was in so love, infatuated with the game. We never thought about that. And that era right there, it made it tough because, of course, you played for pride. It wasn't, the name came with it, but when it came to Rucker Park was good. But again, the things that came with it, right? The atmosphere, when you come to Harlem is Harlem. You come to Rucker Park, it's crowded. I come from where, believe it or not, they were selling crates for $1. We had crackheads. This is the crack era. So
make the stage out the crates.
Like literally, like the fans would buy crates for $1 to come see us playing, and I would witness guys selling like a crackhead, like, yo, I'll be here tomorrow. Yo, hold me 10 crates, and that's courtside. You know what I'm saying? So and that part, that's the part what I mean by the golden era. God bless the dead. You got Cisco Al coming on there with a Cisco doing the dance, and Puff Daddy, the rappers, the Puff Daddy scenes and to make it famous. It was that part of it. It was the culture was so rich that everybody came and took from it.
Right, no doubt. So you know, I'm from Long Island. You know, I'm from out east on Long Island. So, you know, I remember watching the first mixtape.
You got you.
One of the best, you know, that was like the whole thing, like the game that you guys was playing in, and you know, like it featured a lot of Skip, but you seen everybody. God rest the dead, Conrad McCray in the game. I seen Half Man. I seen all you guys. The one thing I got to get on. So when I promoted this on my Instagram, I said,
"Oh, my bad. I ain't mean to cut you out. When you say Long Island, you brought back memories. I had to go find my wine dance joint. You know what I'm saying?
oh man, I'm from further east than Wine Dance. Man. I'm from out in the Hamptons. So,
oh man, you got a Picasso on your wall, brother.
So when I put on my Instagram, I said, name me a better alley-oop combination than these two, and I really, really meant that. So like what I remember was, I mean, we've seen alley-oops before, but the types of alley-oops that were thrown. So, you know, I seen some off the backboard, the bounce and everything. My favorite is the bounce. Shane, you duck down, Maine jump over you. And you guys are extremely close. Is this stuff that you guys talked about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if we get a break, we're gonna try this joint, Wally. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it just looks so crazy. So talk about the chemistry between you two, because obviously I'm on here with you two today. It's a real brotherhood between you two. Talk about all of that for me.
So man, hold on. So man, you want to talk about the dunk, and I'm gonna talk about the dunk, because we know you talk about dunk.
Yeah.
So let me say this, because this is what people don't know. Again, I'm older than Maine, right? I'm 50. Maine, right? Maine is from New Jersey. I'm from the Bronx, right? So, growing up, I was always 4 years or 3 years ahead of, but then 2 years that it kept Maine corner playing. So it was a tournament, UDC, right? So UDC is one of the most famous tournaments in the Bronx. I would hear about main event from my younger peers. Like one of my boys came home. He was like, "Yo, I played against this guy, this team in Jersey, man. Yo, this guy, man. Yeah, he jumped from the foul. No, he dunked on me." And I was like, "What you mean he dunked on me?" And this is how he explained it to him. He said, yeah, he came down and he jumped like, I thought he was shooting a jump shot. And I was like, and I said to him, and I was like, yo, so wait, you thought somebody was shooting a jump shot and they dunked on you? So to keep fast forward, now Rucker Park is playing. I'm playing in Rucker Park. I'm playing with Evie. Maine is just coming in with Mousie's dream team, right? They just coming in the league with the new, they got all the, I'm on the other side of the division. Mm-hmm. So I didn't like Maine. I didn't like nobody, because we come from that era. I didn't know him. Right. So I didn't like Maine, right? I seen him play. So again, if you know me, I'm the type of player, I'm a scouting report player. Mm-hmm. So I would see things that I think that could help us to win. And every player, I can tell you about every player, and I can tell you what we got to do. So I always kind of scouted against Maine, but I never got a chance to play against him, right? So fast forward, years go by. What people don't know, I didn't meet Maine until Rucker Park years later. Right. I was already, it was so many years later, right? Mousy, my name is big. I'm getting recruited by so many. I'm being loyal. So now I'm freelancing. You know, Mousy's Mousy Dream Team. He comes, yo, I want you to play with me in Rucker Park. And at that time, you know, to play for Mousy back then, that's like you getting recruited from the Bulls, right? Like you get, like to play with certain coaches, and what I mean by that is not getting put on. I mean a coach, like he came to my house, came pick me up, right? And I'm excited about everything. And as he picking me up, he's telling me about the team, and he's excited. He's telling me about this young point guard that he got, that he want me to see. And I'm like, yeah, and this young point guard is Kareem Reed.
Reem. I had Reem on the show.
Right? So we go pick up Kareem Reed, right? So and in my mind, right, I'm saying, yo, I really made it. You know what I'm saying? I made it. I'm riding around with Mousy. Mm-hmm. I know everybody. I'm really, you know what I mean? We got the young killer Kareem Reed. McDonald's All-American, right? So fast forward again, now the summertime, this is in the wintertime. So if you was nice, right, you get recruited in October, November to play in June.
Right.
And sometimes you was really nice, you'll get a check in October, November to secure the spot in June. So now I'm playing with Maine, I'm playing with bad boys, right? I'm not starting, right? I'm older because I'm already older, so I'm kind of upset, my ego, but I'm holding out. I don't really know nobody on the team but Future, right? Personally.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really starting, and then the game is going up and down, and I'm seeing so many things I would be doing out there on the court. And particularly, I'm noticing in Maine, right? Because I've come from a line of alley-oops. That's where I come from. I come from that. So I think a couple of turnovers, it was scrappy. And to this day, I can remember the crowd. Somebody in the crowd is saying, yo, put Shane in the game. And soon I sub in the game, and I think I could get a rebound. As soon as I get the rebound, I'll take one dribble and throw the alley-oop. One dribble from 50. The long Maine catches it, boom! Yeah. The other team calls timeout. Again, I don't know main event. Maine, the other teams come, they timeout. We come in a huddle. Maine look at me, and he goes, yo, that's what I'm talking about, man. Yo, why he wasn't in the game? Right? So again, fast forward, we play, but then my ego gets to me, and then I quit. And I go play with Tommy Hilfiger. So now that one highlight was the end of me and Maine. And then we started fast forward again. I'm playing on the travel. I'm playing with the Harlem Rockets. If you know about that, Maine is playing the Harlem Wizards. It's like a show basketball. They're telling me about, yo, we got this new guy coming, main event. Now I already know who he is at that time. I'm like, oh, all right, bet. So we picking Maine up for a tryout, right? We got, just for a tryout. Maine comes with a duffel army bag. Like he's staying for the month. So we snapping in a van like, yo, and I'm telling everybody, that's my man. They like, what's up? I'm like, yo. They're like, yo, what's up with your man? Yeah, this is a tryout. He just know he making it. So we get in a van. I take Maine out that night. Show him one of the most fantastic nights that he ever had, right? So now that's how the bond started. We hang out. We talk, like we really hang out. Like first time we go out, we go out to eat, we do everything. So now we working out in the park, and again, we on the road. So Maine, we playing 21. Just, we just messing around. So my man whispers in my ear, that's on the team, and they know Maine. They like, yo, your man ain't know that. I'm like, word? We just playing. I get by Maine. I'm like, yo, fan. Because I remember it's a tryout. Right? Yo, they think, they saying you ain't know all that. We playing 21. We playing hard D, we balling. Maine get the ball. I don't know what happened. Boom, boom, boom. Maine jumps and throws on both of the dudes. That's what they did. Boom! They was like, yo, your man is official. and we was roommates and the bond from there. And I can tell you about that. Maine can tell you about that dunk. Because people don't understand about that dunk. But Maine, you can lead it off of like how that dunk works. Because this is the same game, same team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, it was I'm gonna fast forward back just a little bit because at that time I had left all the schools I went to. I went to Rutgers University. I got kicked out of Rutgers, played 1 year. Then I went to Benedict College. Never played down there because of some street stuff or whatever. And then I went to Caldwell. Never played. So I went to 3 colleges. One Division I only played 1 year. I had a younger son. So I went to my mayor. My mayor was like a God rest John T. Gregorio, mob guy from Staten Island. Had all the plug. You know what I mean? He was the plug. So I went to him, I think it was like that Friday. I went to him, I said, yo, Mr. Gregorio, I need a job. So he had owned like a scaffolding company. So he said, yo, go see my son Johnny Jr. on Monday. He gonna hire you. So I'm like, bet. I was looking through the newspaper and it said Harlem Rockets tryouts. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to this. Yo, my mind was, I'm bringing everything with me because I was so content. Like, yo, I gotta get some bread coming through. You know what I mean? So my mind was like, yo, I don't care what nobody think. It was a big blue Army duffel bag. Got on the bus. Like I say, everybody cracking jokes. We chilling. We chilled that night. The bond started right there. And what the game was, we noticed that everybody was getting like extra, I think it was $50 for every trick shot that they do.
Half court, backwards.
They need throwing it from that court, putting the ball between their cuffs, doing it all that. And they getting $50 extra. So one day, man, Shane was like, yo, wow, I'm gonna bounce the, I think he just did it. And I jumped over his head and dunked it. That's why I'm so comfortable doing this yo, I would do it. All I love, yo. Yo, me and Shane was in the league, I would do that shit in the NBA right now. That's how confident, that's how confident I'm doing it. So long story short, we was in a game. Now we got the game going on.
The owner's giving us $50. We get $50 for every time. That's a trick.
Hey, check this out. Now, mind you, you know what? We never practiced it. We did it in the game. He came down, I'm trailing, and he bounced it and went down. And so boom. The cat was like, oh. So he's like, that's our trick shot. Long story short, we did that joint so many times where he was like, yo, that's not a trick shot. I said, yo, it's a trick shot so you can see somebody else do it.
Right.
Because we mastered it like this. So by the time people saw it at the N1, we already had mastered that. Now, when he throw the ball from the other end of the court, you can't practice that.
Right.
Because you don't know where the defense is going to be.
Right.
I know it's just like I don't look at him. I don't tell him through the hoop. I just watch his body chemistry. I know when he do something. I know when he do like mostly like this and do something. I'm already traveling. You know what I'm saying? So the bond is there and the bond is set. The pre-game is set by us sitting around blowing one. We didn't even talk about the game, but just our off the court chemistry. It's like, all right. I know Shane gonna do this, he gonna do that. I know Shane gonna come back with this food. Okay, if I went to the store, yo, Shane, I saw these Timbs. I got you a pair too. And yo, man, that's crazy because I got you these jeans too. So the chemistry just was all on the court and off the court. So the things you saw us doing, I guess it was just him having that dear vision, seeing the court. Because if you ever look at Shane, when you get that ball from out of bounds, he's not like this. Never. You won't find him. He's like this.
Right away.
Before he even get the ball, he's like this with his hands out. So he already visualized everything. He know where everybody at. And what he knew about me was he knew my strengths and my weakness. But what he didn't know is that my weakness was really my strength because he know that he could throw the ball anywhere by the rim. So no matter what he did, it could be a mistake dribble off his knee. He know that I'm going to go get that joint. You know what I'm saying? And we just built it up. So like I said, I was a cat that would do, we could be down by one. I'm talking about a real basketball game. We could be down by 1 point. And I'll come down the lane and do a 360 with 1 second on the clock. You know what I mean? I was at Rutgers. We played against West Virginia. The coach got mad at me because I came on a break. The defender stepped up. And you know when jokers bounce the ball and it go for the cat?
Yeah.
I started that. I ain't never seen nobody else do that. I mean, I seen guys in NBA. I seen some guys on N1. But I bounced the ball, and I went to go dunk it. The dude found me. So the coach, Bob Windsor, pulled me to the side, and he was like, yo, you can't be doing that. You can't. I said, yo, but how about if I would have made it? Just go ahead, you know. So with our chemistry, it has a lot to do with our level of confidence level, you know, and just being around each other. You build a certain type bond, that brother bond, and that was on the court and off the court.
Right.
And like again, like I try to when I teach the kids is what my main set is it's very important as a point guard and guards of all players. I think it's more of a gift with me is when the rebound goes up, for some reason, I when I turn and I look like Maine said, but I take a photo, I take a memory of the whole court, so I see half right here, right? And I play chess, right? I play chess, right? So I'm already thinking, okay, the shot went up, half went to get the rebound. Last time I checked, Maine was right here. So if he get the rebound and give it to me, Maine should be already by the 3-point line. So I shouldn't have to dribble. I should just turn and let it go. Like I knew that when the shot was going up. You know what I'm saying? Not when I got it. No, when the shot was going up, I knew it. We played in Rutgers. We won the championship game, and we always talk about this. We literally beat a team off of Maine get the rebound, I get it. Alley to Maine. Maine to get it. Long pass, alley that. We really got like 10 straight long pass alley-oops are taking turns and won the championship game because it's like you said, that chemistry is. And Maine actually always used to say that, yo, I don't care what nobody say, man. Yo, we the best dude ever on this dunking thing. And I'd be humble and I'd be like, nah, you bugging. Because, you think the NBA, you think, you seen Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, you know what I'm saying? But then I think about it, man, on like these alley that you see on Air One, that ain't nothing. I think about the real game that we played against some official ballers and play against these pro guys and these other guys, and it was the same. It was the same thing. And I threw alley-oops the main event. I watched main event catch your alley-oop, look at me and go, good pass, and then dunk it. Like, I've never seen that before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then, Maine was in a car accident, right?
Yeah.
So half of the other stuff. So and then just that part of coming back, I've witnessed, like, Maine. I joke around, but Maine got a hanger. I always joke around, say, you don't got no bone. There's a hanger there, and I witnessed him come back. Right, and the way he came back, and he was lightly dunking, but when he came back, his second dunk of coming back with one leg was a 360. Right. So and I think so with Maine, I think Maine been gifted with some type of superpowers, man. Maine is not human, man.
High flyer, man. And so I want to get into the whole and one tour thing, right? So you got, it took it from there, and then they put you guys on a charter bus and started taking you out to arenas, right? So we've already talked about the genesis of your basketball, right? Sousa Park, Fourth Ward and everything. And now they putting street ball in an NBA arena, right? So as soon as you touch the hardwood, it ain't street ball no more. You understand what I'm saying? I want to get you guys' view on, right? Because at some point, right, because there was a window there, and corporate took advantage of that. You understand what I'm saying? And so I want to get you guys' feeling on, because there was some time where y'all felt like, okay, we got a good life. We did make a good life off of it. But at some point, it lost its way. You know what I mean? And even to a fan, it became too commercial. You understand what I'm saying? It became too commercial. So I want you guys to kind of walk me through that, to the highs of it, right? Because there damn sure was some good times in there, and then take me to the lows, and when you guys felt like you got disconnected from the whole thing.
I'll talk about the highs, because Maine will break down. So when you say street ball, I remember growing up, and we all come from the South. We all migrate from the South. So I remember in the South, they don't play out in the park. They play in the gym, right? So and to them, that's their street ball.
Right.
So the highs to it, the highs to it was what I'm noticing now, right? Air One was 25 years ago, and it's still talked about to this day. It's really talked about, and the doors that open, the opportunities of so many people to make money besides making the NBA, right? You got Professor, who has 5, 10 million, 8 million views on YouTube. You got King Handles, you got the Bone Collect, you got so many street ballers to where in my era growing up, the first street ball legend I met was Not and Out on Dope. You know what I'm saying? So between that and another thing, I think the highs of it is when AND1 was going on and it was going on, even though it definitely, I'm with you, it definitely tempted attainment, but I think the disconnect was that the word street ball, not street ball. I always said it should have been street ball entertainment.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So then that takes then it can go on far as it went. But again, what it did do till then back then is I haven't witnessed so much gang violence in so many years. When the tour was going on, I witnessed so many gang brothers from all over the country put down that joint and come to them open runs and start balling and getting their life together and change. To this day, we get inboxes about guys that was 12, they was in a gang, they followed us, they started balling, they seen that they believed in themselves and they changed. So I think that on the high side of that, I think that was missing, because what it did was it made guys, believe it or not, you can be attest to this, it made guys that was scrubs, at least they went to the park, right? These guys that didn't know how to play, at least they went in there. Like it's right now we got probably millions of people. We got Serbia, we got all these third world countries to where guess that's all they know. They dribbling in. They can't go professional. They barely can come outside. I speak to some of them. So them dribbling in the house and freestyling and practicing the moves. That right there is a big dream for them, and that's the high point of it, right? That's the high point, and when people say AND1, I like the part where people say, "Yo, brothers get robbed," and I will say, what is robbery? What is taking advantage? Because not to knock on EBC or these other tournaments, but EBC was small. It blew up. They started making videotapes. They were selling videotapes. I didn't get no money off it. I had to buy a videotape with me on it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So when people talk about this, like, and just like with these, like everything that goes on, right? Everything. So that's like me saying to you, yo, I need 10,000 for this because I don't know where you're going with this. Right? No, I'm just keeping it, but that's what I mean. So that's what I mean when sometimes when I hear that word, people's been taken advantage. And sometimes it be the person that have the same ulterior motive and not knowing that's doing the same thing. So it wasn't being taken advantage. We wasn't smart enough, right? Me and May talk about we wasn't smart enough, and at the time is there. But we made the best of what we made. Trust me, we made the best of what we can make of it, and as you go on, you'll see things I got a term for, but man, you can go on with the lows because I'm agreeing with everything Main's going to say as well.
Okay.
The question, that was good input. You have to really analyze where the AND1, when you put AND1 and tag that title street ball, we got to go back where it started. It started in the streets by picking 5 cities, and we would go to these 5 cities, call next, go on the court, do our thing. And as the years go on, now you're talking about, I say this humbly, like Shane, myself, Half Man, AO, and a lot of the other guys, we brought corporate America into street basketball. Corporate America was never really involved with street basketball.
Right.
So when you went from the parks, where that's the essence of it, that's the essence of street basketball in the parks, and then you stated that we went inside the arenas as the years went on.
Right.
It's 2 things. I think the first thing is that the owners of that company never understood the culture.
Okay.
They knew that it was a brand, it was a t-shirt brand. We came up with this idea to market and promote their brand, very outside of what the culture is. So you have that part. And then the second part is that now you're dealing with these sponsors, Fortune 5 companies. You think the CEO of Pepsi gonna come to the Drew League, or gonna come to Berry Farms, or gonna come out to Dykeman? So what they did was, what I think they did was, they protected them by having it inside an arena where it was what I call controlled chaos.
Okay.
Not knowing that they took away from the culture. The next thing I'm gonna say is like a gift and a curse. The gift was that we was able, people don't know this, we would still go play at that local park. Or we say we knew you in Seattle, you might be like, yo, I got a Pro-Am team. Once I come down to the Boys and Girls Club, we would still go do stuff like that. So at the end of the day, people knew that we could play street ball and we could play real basketball. Because for us, our trick was the bus step behind. That was our trick.
Right.
It wasn't, our trick was you could do a real rule with real referees. That was our trick, to give you this business. And from the corporate side, it took away, it was a gift, it was a curse, because street basketball, the elements of it started to fade away. When the elements start fading away, now you're taking away the B-boys and the DJ from hip-hop. You're taking these things away. Then the next thing was taken away was the referees. Now we went from street basketball to street entertainment, as Shane stated. So anytime we heard somebody got a game going on, or was a park over here, or a Boys and Girls Global, we go in there because we have to solidify our game and who we are and our contribution to street basketball.
Right.
So yes, it did get commercial. And I think the reason why it got so commercial is because, number one, they wanted to protect the investors, which I understand. But the owners never understood the culture. And they was going by their we go into business, we got a 5-year, 8-year, 9-year business plan. But with street basketball, with hip hop, there's no business plan when you're dealing with the culture.
Right.
Because you're dealing with group of people who look, we show you how to dress, how to walk on the court, how to sag your shorts. We gave a style, it became a lifestyle. That ain't gonna be in your blueprint for no business. Right. Because you're thinking about how you're going to put out less money, make more money. Business. We do that for 5 years, we move on. So once the culture started getting away and corporate America came in, and we wasn't in the driver's seat to say, no, this is how it's supposed to be right here. Because look at what Rucker Park did. We still could have created controlled chaos. All we had to do was go to a Target, which we did this before, go to a Target, rent the parking lot out, put the hardwood on the floor, and we still outside. Because street basketball, you want to hear that cat saying, "You mean shit."
Yeah.
Like that's adrenaline for us. We feed off that. So when you got people in the arenas, because we will always say, we'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. A family of 5 can't afford good seats to go to an NBA game. But look on the flip side, we wind up being them. Right. Because it costs to go into that arena now. So with so many things that I wish we could have been in control of, but created those best, and it put us in a position to where we at now, to where we're driving the vehicle and we know what's needed, and we're going to be the ones that's going to bring the essence, the culture, and opportunity back to street basketball.
No question.
And it's just like the rap game, brother. Right? I'm from that era. I'm from the era where I've seen rap start. So rap started out in the park. So when Jay-Z and these rappers take it to the arena, it's story. You get what I'm saying? So again, like what May said, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm saying the more and more conversations we get, the more and more I think about it both sides, right? So now I'm thinking on the business side, and I'm thinking, hold on. First of all, what park can we use if we get 10,000 fans?
Right.
So if we did it in the park, it would be I don't think it would have worked. It would have been just like how the All-Star games used to be in Rucker Park. So many people was there, people's on the court, that we got to shut it down. Right. So it had to been taken to arena. But what I think is what they should have did was they should have televised more of the open runs and more of the the crash the courts, which y'all guys didn't see. Which we call crash the court, meaning when if you along Allen, if Weber Park is where everybody's balling at, and one's in town, we do something called crash the court. We go into the court and we're balling, but that wasn't the highlight of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you will see glimpse of it, but that was more for like the commercial. I mean, the newer guys. So we were in play like nobody talks about us playing in Kingdom when Lance Stevenson was in high school. Do you know about that?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Right? So nobody talks about us playing in Harlem, in Mousie's tournament against the best at the time and winning. Do you know about that?
Right. Nah.
Right? So what it is when we go out, but they don't talk about that, right? They silence that, right? They silence our wins, right? And what I learned is, to be honest, brother, it became more of hate for us, man. I'm just saying, for me, coming from New York, it was crazy, but it was so much love, but it was also a lot of hate that came with it. And the hate was, when you learn out years later, it wasn't about that. It was, I wanted to be down, or why that wasn't me.
Right. Nah, no question about it. So this next question I want to ask is, and they're separate. So Shane, it's a question for you. Wiley, it's a question for you. And I want you guys to correct me if I'm wrong in asking these questions. So like I said, I watched it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watched the mixtapes. I watched the ESPN series. I came to games, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so.
If you're gonna say if it's fake, don't take that out.
Listen, this is something different. So Shane, you said you're older, you know, you're older than us, right? And
Yeah.
my outlook on you when I watched it was more of, listen, man, I'm just doing this to feed my family now. I'm not as young as I used to be. So you were always the mature one to me. You know, I felt like when guys were like arguing and stuff, you always had the mindset of like, yo, relax. Like, I felt like you knew what you were doing this for. You weren't chasing like I wasn't looking to get drafted or anything. You understand? So I kind of felt like you were there. So I want you to talk about that first, Shane. And then Wiley, for you, you were still kind of chasing an NBA dream at that time. You were playing for something. Like you and AO, I felt like were playing for something. You know what I mean? So I want y'all to let me know if I'm right in those two regards and everything, and then talk about that a little bit. So Shane, talk about where you were at, where I felt like you weren't chasing a dream anymore. You were just doing this. I felt like you understood the business of it more and why you were doing it.
I didn't per se understand the business part. I understood something called life.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, like I say, if you know me from AN1, you never seen me play if you know me from AN1. I was 32 years old when AN1 started. Right? So I got the phone call from Main Event. I was at the point of my life where I was halfway in the street, halfway, you know. So for me, it was more of, okay, opportunity is coming. The way I've been going, I messed up all my Division I offers, messed up schools. So I never, at 12, 13, in some mind, I vision I'm never really gonna work. So what I'm thinking was, okay, well, this is a first job for me that's legal, besides traveling and doing that, right? So me getting down was, I always looked at it as, when is the gig? The gig is gonna be up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The gig is going to be up. I always knew, I knew one day this ain't going to last forever, at least, especially for me, being at 32. I always knew that, but it blew up so fast,
mm-hmm.
right? So now I'm thinking the gig is going to be up, but when it be up, I should be having millions.
Right.
Like, that's in my mindset. It's not millions, at least 1 million.
Okay.
So I'm injured. I got broken bones in my foot for playing in Rucker Park. My body's damaged. So what I did learn was, hold on. The episode is coming on. I'm not getting a lot of I'm getting my typical alley-oop plays, but I already know I'm gonna get 2-3 of those a game, right? Mm-hmm. But what I'm noticing is I'm getting a lot of the funny skits and the other like I'm being shown a lot. The camera, like they follow me around, like they love it what I do. So what I did learn was, yo, I don't gotta bounce the ball to do the crazy stuff. I gotta just show out and just be me.
Right.
Right. And once that happened, it started. So what I really knew was, like I told you, I've been hurt so long. So one game, I got an alley-oop and I couldn't even walk, and people don't even know. And it's on the tape. I barely could walk. I never told them about it because I know if I tell them at my age, I'm out of here.
Right.
So I got to rehab it myself. I told them I sprung my ankle coming off the airport, right? Like, yo, so I'm limping like, man, I just sprung my ankle. I should be ice. I should be ice. So what I'm doing is, so during the game, I get an alley-oop. I take my shoe off because it's killing me. And I throw it in the crowd.
Right.
The crowd goes crazy, right? I take my other shoe off. I throw it in the crowd, watching the reaction of it. The cameras on me, they're going crazy. So it was out of love, but so when I went back to the bench, I'm thinking somebody's gonna say, hey, go get another pair of sneakers and get back in that game.
Right.
But nobody never said nothing. I went into the crowd, and then the episode comes on, they show that. So I said, okay, I got them. I know how to get them. Let me do the things. Let me try to be the face of it, right? Mm-hmm. And not only not the face of it, and honestly, basketball, I was like, and my mindset was saying, I'm solidified.
Right.
I don't have nothing to prove to no city, no everybody, because I done traveled already. I done played against everybody, and back home. My OGs like Pee Wee Kirkland and Joe Hammond, they solidified guys like me and Maine. So I'm good.
Right.
So it was more of now how do I stay on, and it worked. I mean, it worked. It worked to the point to where one time I was off the show for a year, and they was rocking, and Maine would call me and be like, yo, man, it ain't the same no more. Yo, they got signs up asking about you and this and that. And ESPN complained to them saying, we need him back on the show. So that right there showed not just of who I am, of me being a brand, and that's exactly what it was. It was a hustle that turned real. Mm-hmm. Right, it's one of those things where when we first got down, we did it for free shorts. But I did it for the sneakers and shorts, man. We did it for sneakers. We did it for if AND1 would have told us they would give us sneakers and shorts for 5 years straight and no money, we would have did it because it was for the love of the game when we got there. No doubt. So it was the love of the game, and then I just learned the business. After a couple of years, you got to learn the business, and that was it.
No doubt. And now to you, Wally, about chasing that NBA dream in this type of setting.
So I'm gonna go back just a little bit. I had tried like different avenues, and I knew once I left college and didn't play at college the years I was supposed to play, I knew the road was gonna be kind of rough for me because if you look now, they want you to go the traditional route. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to like not go the traditional route and be one of the first ones or one of the ones that went right from the streets to the NBA. And I'll never forget, I was playing with the USBL with the Atlantic City Seagulls with that year R. Kelly and them had took it, and then the next year I was on there with Master P and them. Okay. We had a decent team, and we had this show that came out called On Hollow Grounds. Yeah. And on Hollow Grounds, David Stern was there, and I asked him, I was like, I said, hey, why is it that you guys could dance on our stage, but we don't get a chance to dance on y'all stage? And he knew what I meant. He was like, just keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. And that was that. So then I met him another time, and I said the same thing to him, and he straight, God rest him, he straight broke it down. He said, if I let you in the NBA, I'll be opening up a can of worms because you'll be coming straight from the streets. So I felt that, but you got to remember, in the 90s, even though right now, but more so in the 90s, to go overseas, you had to have some kind of footage against real ballers. So not only did we put this team together to help market and campaign this brand and one brand, we also was like, yo, we could use this opportunity to get some footage to send over to some overseas coaches.
Right.
Well, if you look at the dialogue from some players was, we'll play against anybody, anywhere, anytime. And these were real referees with numbers on their jersey, not no cat with a Foot Locker uniform on. So we was, if you look at it, we was playing against the best players. And the only one who went, and I told everyone this is a good opportunity for guys to get footage, sent overseas. We never was supposed to get stuck with 12, 15, 17 guys. There was a process. And the only one who I could say that went with the process that we had mapped out was John Helicopter. We played over in China. He did his thing. He got a deal. That's what it was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be a stepping stone. But once some of the younger guys came, after we built the foundation, when the younger guys came, the
lifestyle.
They wasn't falling for a mission.
They fell in love with the lifestyle, man.
They got caught into the lifestyle, saying that, whoa, you know, I'm like a rock star out here.
Right, that was their NBA.
Not understanding everything we did, bro. Everything we did had a purpose behind it. Everything we did. And as the years go on, we still wanted that same purpose, even though we're getting older, but we still wanted to keep that purpose going because there's no way, like I say, there's no way we should have got stuck with 17 guys. We need this to be like a farm league, an NBDL, to where they're going to say, yo, we'll get some players that, we would argue with parents where they would come up to us saying, yo, why you ain't pick my son? Why you ain't do this? Why you do that? Either Shane or I would say, yo, the kid is nice. If he playing this game, he can forfeit his eligibility. Finish school, do the best you could do, be a student athlete and try to get a shot. So we would get into arguments with parents because this gonna be here. Right. The way at the time, like, yo, this gonna be here. We gonna be here. If he or she don't make it that role, we come back to this. We get you right. We talking about player development, which we was doing. We had so many banners under our hat to where people just got a chance to really see us play the game, have fun. But we mentored a lot of these guys. We changed a lot of guys' lives. We gave gangbangers alternatives, you know. So, and what helped that brand, and still what I'm telling you about, I'm about play as much as you can. You never know who's watching. We always was bringing credibility to that brand. On the off season, remember, when they say we got took advantage of or we got jerked, right? And one season was only 3 months.
Right.
May, June, July. So it was getting 6 figures. They eating. So check it. But what we would do is, because we love the game and we love to use that ball that the Creator bless us with, Shane, this ball right here could help Chicago right now. It can help Detroit. It can help Sacramento. It can help Oakland. It can help South Carolina. Yo, call up a couple of guys. I got a promoter over here, Chase Your Man, my man, a promoter in Cincinnati, in Syracuse. We was bringing their notoriety to the brand, their respect, their credibility. And like you said, yes, I was trying to chase that dream, but like Shane said, then you got to step back and say, okay, how do I fit in? I'm always be the one to step up, fight. We have fought for stuff that we know we ain't gonna benefit from, but the Creator say not giving information is being selfish. Right. So we always want to share the wrongs as long as good. So yes, you're right about you had other players trying to do it, but once they took the real referees out, look at life. Imagine how life would be a purge. if it was no rules. And that's what happened with And One. Once the rules got out, a lot of guys knew that, we said we want to, at the end of the day, we want to win a game. We want to entertain. We want to win a game.
Right.
Once guys saw that, I could come in, get a dunk, or shake somebody, I'm good. I don't care
just want to make the tape.
You're gonna make the show.
Right.
But our whole thing is, if people don't notice, a lot of guys couldn't get in the game unless we was up by 15.
Right.
Now look, we'll be up by 15. When we get back in the game, the fourth quarter, we down by 15 and win by 20. How about that?
Right. So let me ask this question. I want to throw some names out here. So again, I was a fan. You know what I mean? Again, I think I'm somebody who knows basketball, right? Everybody who came through, I don't feel like could have played at another level. You understand what I'm saying? So guys, like I said, in AO, I felt like could do that as opposed to a hot sauce. You understand what I'm saying? And like, again, you guys know way more than me. Y'all might say like, nah. Hot sauce was real nice. Like I felt like there was a difference in real basketball.
Honestly, when people say that, it doesn't, if you play basketball, it doesn't take a blind eye. When my son was 9 years old and growing up through it, he liked the hot sauce, but he understood the difference between what was real and what was fake. Mm-hmm. So now hot sauce. I think the world got caught. I think we got blinded, like And One, with that marketing of using street ball and then attaching legend, but they got caught with the street ball that we know. Now, with him, I do believe, again, that if they would have said, how would you feel if they would have been like hot sauce, one of the best, if need not, the best street ball entertainer.
Right. Nah, yeah.
So when you like the guys, like when you say like the hot sauce and so like that's obvious for me. For me speaking, that's obvious, right? That's picking. That's not you, but to me that's picking. So I want you to leave hot sauce alone and let's name somebody. Let's name somebody else, man. Let's give me somebody else who you thought that wasn't like that.
That wasn't. So like I said, the ones who I thought like were legit, but were legit basketball players. So Wally, I know you played at Rutgers before, so I know you came through. I know you came up through it. AO, I felt like was legit. Played at Simon Gratz with Rasheed Wallace. You understand what I'm saying? I felt like Silk was good. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I'm trying to think.
What about Sick With It?
Sick With It. I remember Sick With It from LA. I thought he was good. I know Kenny Bruner played at Fresno. Georgetown was a high school All-American. So I know about Kenny Bruner. Lonnie Harrell, prime objective, went to Georgetown. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? Like I know it. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to think. Like so. Like I was kind of rocky. Say it again. High Octane. I felt like was good. Ali Mo, rest in peace. Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying?
What about Spider?
No, not to me. I felt like what position would he play on the next level at his size? You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he can jump and dunk, but could he? He's a point guard size. Is he a point guard? So I would say no. But you guys would know better than I would. But I would say no.
So with that one, let me tell you something about him.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta remember what And One is used for, right? His job was to get on the break, catch a dunk, and hang on the rim. That's it. So, was he professional? This is my opinion. Nah.
Right. Overseas, I think.
But, can he go in Rucker Park and play? Hell yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. What you didn't see was, do Spider got a handle? Hell yeah.
Okay.
Like I mean, cause if you remember when the real games, right? So you gotta remember there's no referee. So I don't know if you remember the real games of the isolation, not to pick on Headache, the isolation of Spider, when he was playing with Skip and a lot of isolation, pause, hezzy, get to the left, take off, dunks on Headache. So what I'm saying is that, you know, he played in the US. He played I think with USBL. I forgot, was not USBL, but I get what you're saying, right? I don't know, because there's levels.
Right.
So if the level that you're talking about with AO on them, no. But is he over hot sauce in them? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nah. I do feel like some people were like there for the show of it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, a lot of you I saw play real basketball coming up. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, I kind of feel like I know the difference between, like, he's a good basketball player. You know what I'm saying? That is just taking advantage of the stage. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like if I took Wally out of &1, can he play basketball? Yeah, he can play basketball from game to 10. And can I bring you off a screen? And, can you play in the system also? Like, I get that. And I felt like some of them were just like for the, the show of it.
You're 100% right. But I think, like, with Spider, what I'm thinking is he would be a good seventh, eighth man of your bench. Yeah. Like put it this way, he won't hurt you because of other sides, and believe it or not, he could play. He got a nice little. What you think, man? He got a little jump shot. He's better than what people actually think.
Okay, yeah, that's something that you would never see. I've never seen Spider shoot a jump shot before. You understand? So I wouldn't know that, and that's why I'm asking you guys for that. You guys would definitely know better than I would. The next thing was there jealousy amongst it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's talk about the jealousy, right? Because I know it wasn't always peaches and cream on that tour, you know what I'm saying? Like, so was there a feeling, like, especially for you guys with like the OGs on the tour, right? Like, was young dudes coming up and not, like, were you guys in the place where like, yo, this dude ain't paid his dues yet? Like, yo, I know he nice, but you guys come from an era where you got to pay dues too. You feel me? Like, so yeah, you nice, and I can acknowledge that you're nice, but you just can't put your stuff on the bus and be Shane or Maine. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So talk about that a little bit.
So Maine, but let me talk about the jealousy. I don't think it was, for me, I've seen what I know exactly what it was. I don't think it was more of jealousy. I think it was, when I look at it, it was more, I'm looking at it was more of being so familiar, being that we started and we from the beginning. So some of these guys, that the younger guys, when we walk in these places, they felt they should get the attention as much as the attention that we were getting in the beginning. And I don't think they understood like the attention it was gonna come. And I don't think they understood that me and Maine didn't care, because we like you said, we do what we do, so we would want more attention. So it was, I don't think it was more jealousy. I think it was more the younger guys they just didn't understand it. They just was in a rush to be famous, and they didn't know what come with that. They didn't understand was no matter how hard they try, you never gonna beat the foundation, right? I don't like, we was the foundation, and that foundation was so hard to beat. So I think that's what it was with a lot of them. But jealousy, now I think they thought more we was jealous of them.
What about Headache and Skip? I felt like Headache was jealous of Skip because Skip.
I think I know. So I remember I'm older. I remember when they built the park, Riverbank Park. When they first built the park, I go out there. I see this young kid playing out there. The young kid run up on me, and he goes, "Yo, one day I'm gonna be where you at." And I'm like, "Word, shorty, I keep working on your game. You all right?" It was Headache.
Right.
So I think not jealous, right? It's funny how I'm saying this. I think Headache in his heart, in his heart, he felt that if he had the opportunity, he could have played in the league. And if you know Headache, that's it could have been Dwayne Wade on our team. Headache gonna say, yo, I could do what he do. Okay. So I don't know if it was jealous.
Okay.
I don't know if it was jealous, right?
It's just
I think
competitive. He was
you
competitive.
know what's
like,
crazy? It's competitive. So jealous is a tough word, right? I think it was more of I know jealous because it do happen because your friend can be jealous. I think envy, right? Not in the small word of envy of saying like shit. I feel like if he did, I could have been there too. Like you know what I'm saying? And again, not knowing what comes with it, but it wasn't really too much jealousy going on because the stages that we all came along, even with Headache, we were more older, so it wasn't too much jealousy because guys was living their best life.
Right.
The guys in the NBA was hanging with us.
Yeah.
Right? So if you wasn't an all-star and you didn't start, you wasn't more popular than us. So like that was crazy.
Yeah, nah, no doubt about it.
Now, Terrell, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna speak from a fan. I'm a fan at home, and I'm watching the show. Right.
Yep.
That's how I ain't main event right now.
Right.
And I think the ESPN show, they the ones that created jealousy to make it sound like it was jealousy amongst the players.
Gotcha.
There was never no jealousy amongst the players because how could it be jealousy amongst the players where I'm with these guys damn near more I'm with my family? There's a brotherhood, we a ride or die, tooth and nail. And I'm gonna give you two examples. There was a time when we was trying to talk to Hot Sauce and we was like, yo, if you could be crazy, let's just teach you how to do a pick and roll or how to go off a screen, this and the third. And after the conversation, he was like, shit, I'm the Michael Jordan of the team. Right? No problem. No problem.
Right.
We get to Virginia, and they had signs on the door, and it said that the hotel was fumigated. They just got finished spraying this, that, and the third. So when I went to my room, it was like dead bugs on the dressers.
That's when we were sharing rooms.
The film, they took a footage of me. They showed that footage with Hot Sauce, right? Had nothing to do with us. We just tell them, like, yo, we're going to work on your game. They took that clip, merged it with me coming out the hotel saying, shit, man got to do what man got to do. And I'm pulling my bags to go on the bus.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's one way. The other side where they made it seem like it was jealousy that they created for a storyline. And I told them, don't use me with that. You feel me? And we always on the road. Yo, salute to Skip. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. Salute to Skip. We would be on a road for 25 games, right? Skip in the NBA, he's doing what he got to do, training, whatever. So he might play in about 5 or 6 games, right? So I noticed at the autograph session, we have our posters with a guy like Farm and some of the other guys is signing a Skip to my Lou poster. So I went to one of the owners. I was like, yo, why can't Farm get a poster? He out here grinding with us on the road. And why not he have his poster? Everybody on the road should have their poster. Bring Skip poster, and we all sign Skip poster. But when they go back to Skip, they say they hating. You feel what I'm saying? They're creating a narrative.
Right.
Because they creating a narrative for ratings. But don't do that, because look at what it created between Skip and I.
Right.
They created that problem.
Okay.
I never had a problem with Skip. You feel me? They created that problem because going into that game, when I threw the chair at him, think about it. That message was already sent to him. It was already on his mind, oh, man hating. Oh, they hating on me.
Right.
No. Think about it. Skip was &1, right? Skip was part of the &1 mixtape tour, right? Why was he playing against us?
Right. In that game.
Right. About that?
Right. One of the original, right? One of the original 6.
Why are you playing against us? So I ain't going front. This just came to my mind. I solemnly hold &1, not even &1, ESPN, Hot Films, G-Lock, and all them other guys. I hold them responsible for what the viewers looked at and said, man, hating. I was more vocal. You know what I mean? I'll say something, do something where I know that I might get in trouble, but it's going to help a situation. But they created that animosity.
Okay.
They created that situation with Skip and I.
Mhm.
And fast forward damn near 15 years, that situation it never even happened.
Right.
Big bro, little bro, we had a situation. You know what I'm saying? Because we had a chance in Long Beach to really have a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And what I'm telling you is what he said they was telling him. Now, was I wrong? Pharmacists, all these guys out here on the road, right? Everybody have a poster. He don't have a poster. He's signing Skip poster, right? Let's all of us sign Skip poster. Let Farm have his poster, but they flipped it. And that's where the jealousy came. Because if you look at those two things I told you, what the hell are we going to be jealous about? We know that we only going to be good as this thing could go.
Right.
We got to keep, pushing these guys to teach them a little bit about the business, to teach them the things we went through. It don't have to be that we went through it for nothing, because we want y'all to benefit off of some of the things that we went through.
Right.
You feel me? And we was willing to be martyrs for that.
Right.
But don't let them get you in the office and say, oh, those guys is jealous because they getting old. No, they don't want y'all to learn. Right. We can't let what y'all think happened to us happen to y'all.
Right.
You feel me? And that's where the only way somebody could say the jealousy between anybody who they thought with the team came from the dialogue and the storyline from Hawk Films, that's the ESPN show. And I guess that's just reality TV, because now remember, we don't have a script.
Right.
So they had to create a script, the narrative for what we was doing, but we gave them enough stuff to where they really could create a reality show. Because had we known,
Manipulate the clips and stuff.
know what they would have did? Had we known we know now? We need 100,000 every episode, because Jersey Shore was getting 120,000 per episode. We really was doing reality show.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's where, if anybody think any jealousy, we are men, we brothers. Nobody was ever jealous. It's just that the narrative that they created had people thinking, such as yourself and probably others, that there was certain players hating on one another. How we hating on you and we breaking bread every day?
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, we all in a group text. Listen, we all in a group text to this day in IG and a DM.
Right.
All of us.
Nice. Nah, that makes a lot of sense. So at some point, we all do work with the youth, and we all tell them, everybody, you got hoop dreams, cool, but at some point the ball's gonna stop bouncing. Shane, you 50 years old. Man, you 46 right now. We talked about the heyday of playing basketball, right? When our bones didn't hurt, we can play all day without stretching and everything. But now we're grown men. You guys have children of your own right now. So I want to get away from basketball as we get ready to wrap this thing up. And I want to talk about you guys as grown men now. And I want to talk to you guys about being fathers, especially in the time that our country is in right now. So I kind of want to go to that. And Shane, talk about the biggest lesson that you learned away from basketball, and how you pride yourself on being a father, and what you're doing now.
I mean, the lesson I learned, I was a father coming into this. I was a father in junior college at 19, 18, going to 19 years old. So I was a kid that was grew up and was learned to try to break that cycle. I never seen my father before. Right. So fast forward, being 50, the AND1 is over. I started a nonprofit organization 10 years ago dealing with the youth and with the Summer Basketball League, which is, and again, when we say take basketball away from it, what I did was I created a basketball league, right? And you can have the basketball, but I got over 1,000 kids playing with of course, with my partners and us, but every kid have to write essays. Right, so I'm making kids write essays. I've been training. And I'm passionate about what I do, about how I speak to the youth, because one thing I learned is when you look in that bathroom mirror, that's one thing that's never gonna lie to you. That's that bathroom mirror, and if you can't be man enough as a man to know your mistakes and share it with the youth to make sure they don't go down that path, then you're doing a dishonest favor. So for my last 15, 20 years, I've just been sharing my gift and honestly just take, my son is 29. I got a son that's 18. That's about to that change his life back around, about to get back on ball and being in this. What I can say is being a father is it's not part-time, right? It's not even a job, right? It's something I really it's mind-boggling to me having kids and not seeing my father before, but it's mind-boggling to me of who I am and the way I love, right? To think about any man that don't want to see their kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I said, for me that's where it is at. And that's where it's been at to this day. Me and Ming still talk, and we still thinking about ways of opening up the doors, not just for ourselves, but for other people. You know what I mean? And I already I know my purpose in life, right? So once you know your purpose in life, you can live, right? And I know money, you can't take that money with you. So long as I'm doing good, I'm teaching these youths, and that's all I want, and I'm happy with that.
Nice, man.
Family to me is everything. 3 boys. I have a daughter. My oldest 31. We got 24, 25, and 17. So with my family, they keep me going, and not only going, but they also keep me on point, because as the kids get older, it's not more about yelling at them, doing this, you gotta do that, you gotta do that. It's more about leading by example, because they're getting older now and they could see things and say, hold up, how dad's saying this and he doing that, or how. So as I mature, they have to mature, and I tell them, never give up. Whatever it is, never give up. You're going to make mistakes. But the only time a mistake could be a problem is if you keep making the same mistakes over and over. Just us as black men, we already have a mark on us. So you learn from your mistakes. Don't get caught doing this and that the third 5 times. You should have learned from the first time. You might do something else. But when we start making mistakes over and over and over and over, that's where it could become a problem. One of my sons, my middle son, got caught in a little something. So I told him, I was like, I had a long talk with him. I said, yo, as you see it, as the older y'all get, I give y'all a little more rope. The older you get a little more rope, I said, but when my wife and I have to intervene, that means that your way not working. Mm-hmm. So we're parents 24/7. It's just that as they get older, you have to go a different way. Mm-hmm. Still gotta have the tough love. You understand? I love you, but now if I have to sit or your mom have to sit with you and tell you you're doing X, Y, and Z, you have to listen. Your grandparents, you have to listen, because you can't come back and say, well, y'all getting on me on everything that I do. Y'all getting me on this, clean your room. Why are you getting on me about my room? Let's go in your room. Look at your room. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a challenge for me, and I love it, because once again, it just keeps me on trying to do the right thing to be the best role model I can, for my kids and my family. Like me, I lost my dad in October, and I get the question asked, like, who do I want to be like? Who's your role model? It was my dad. My dad, my mom, my grandparents meant everything to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad meant everything to me. And the things that he instilled in me, I have to instill it into them because it helped me.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So to answer the question, man, never give up. Don't make the same mistakes over and over. Learn from your mistakes. And know that one day you're going to have children. Mm-hmm. And I hope the same thing that my dad instilled in me, I could instill in them, that could help them better themselves, because I'm bettering myself every single day. Mm-hmm. Every single day I'm trying to be a better husband, trying to be a better father, better brother, better uncle, better mentor. You know what I mean? Every single day is a challenge for me. And I'm all for it. I thank God for having me here, man. To learn a lot. If something was to happen right now to me, the Creator have blessed me to do things that I never would thought I would be able to do in my life. And it all came back to that basketball. Going over the 40 different countries, and I hated history. I hated it. But when I'm out on a cobblestone somewhere, and I'm like, yo, I remember this right here from the history book, you know? So that's just
Eiffel Tower was in Paris. We was bugging like, yo.
Yeah. Nah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So last thing, man, you know, I look at you two like, you know, Bird and Magic, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if like you talk about Maine, you got to talk about Shane. You talk about Shane, you got to talk about Maine. So before we get off of here, man, I want y'all to tell the viewers about this Maine and Shane show that y'all got going on YouTube, how it came about, and what you guys are looking to do with it, and how can people view it.
I mean, basically, it is the Maine Exchange show was basically, of course, me and my brother. We trying to, you know, we noticed we got so many fans, and like God, like it's so much. Like even today, as much as we talk, there's so much stuff that God didn't know. So we know we want to bring back a little history on AND1. Of course, we want on AND1, and you know, it's bigger than us, right? So you seen the first episode. We want to start. We want to do interviews. We want to hear what AND1 meant to the fans as a fan perspective, right?
Yeah.
We want to bring back the history of who's that next street baller, right? That's coming up. Because the question that we hear so much is, and I'm gonna ask you, right? Is street ball dead?
I don't think it could ever die, but I don't think it is what it was. Does that make sense? So as long as there's parks, you can't kill street ball. Street ball is gonna live in every city. I don't think it is what it was, though. I'm gonna just put it like that. That's the answer to that.
So when we hear that, right? Me and May really think it's our job to bring it back like it was.
Okay.
So that, in a nutshell, that's what it really is right there.
Okay. Well said. Man, your take on it?
Like Shane said, the show is it's a whole different era that we're going through. We from the Black Planet MySpace era. Going into the supermarkets, getting a little disc to put in the computer to get 300 minutes. That was our era. So it's a platform for us, like you said, to hear stories, to interview different people, talk about not only sports, just talk about current events, different things they have going on, and
from this era.
Right. Yeah, quarter.
and be able to promote things that we're doing. Like we just don't want to be talking about something. So we actually are doing things right now. Just with the COVID, we have to really analyze it and strategically put things together with a company we have, Blacktop Streetball Association. So it's going to be all about opportunity. And when you ask Shane the question, when Shane asked you the question about is streetball dead, my answer to that is street basketball will never die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, as long as there's parks.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to bring we want to bring that game, that street ball rugged game, right? That entertaining game. We want to get it back to where we could bring it to a different soil.
Mm-hmm.
So by us bringing it back on different soils, different countries, different cities, different states, we're going to start having these parks filled again.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a tournament or kids just get off that game and going to play, because they never know when that bus going to come through. They never know when that opportunity going to knock on that door. So we want to be those two things, that bus, that opportunity. So we're going to get the crowds back in the parks. We're going to take this thing on to hit the soils, because a lot of people may say, yeah, street basketball died because there's no AND1. But they got to remember one thing, man. I think a lot of people fail to realize AND1 not street ball. The players made AND1 street ball.
Nah, no doubt about it, man. Well, listen, I appreciate both of y'all for coming on here and spending time with me and chopping it up. Like I said, I was a fan, you know, and it's good to get the behind the scenes, right? It's good to give you guys my perspective on the outside looking in, but I appreciate y'all filling me in on everything that's going on behind, man. And, you know, as I sit here and listen to you, you know, there's still a story to tell for you guys. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, God bless both of y'all, man, and what you guys have done for kids and what you guys are continuing to do for our youth, man. I really appreciate both of y'all for coming on here and spending time with me. And, you know, I will, you know, be in touch with the both of y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming on today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity, bro. God bless you, man.
Yes, sir, man. We'll talk soon.